Justin is a 9-year-old white male in the 4th grade at Gosnell Elementary School. Justin receives his academic instruction in the self-contained classroom. The term self-contained classroom refers to a classroom where a special education teacher is responsible for all core academic instruction. Self-contained classrooms are specifically designated for students with disabilities. Justin attends art, music, PE, guidance, lunch, and recess with his general education peers. This is Justin's 2nd year in the self-contained classroom. Prior to that, he received resource as a pullout for special ed. Justin lives with his single mother and is an only child. Justin's mother reported that her pregnancy and birth were unremarkable and his developmental milestones were met within normal limits. Justin has been diagnosed with a heart condition, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder combined, oppositional defiant disorder, and unspecified bipolar and related disorder. Justin's mother reported that he has a history of temper tantrums, head bumping, and sleeping problems. Justin is being re-evaluated as is required by law. Throughout the evaluation, Justin was cooperative and attempted all presented tasks. Rapport was readily established and he responded well to the examiner's prompting. Justin did show difficulty paying attention and he asked the examiner to repeat items frequently. Justin was given the Reynolds Intellectual Assessment Scale 2nd Edition. The Reynolds Intellectual Assessment Scale 2nd Edition is an individually administered diagnostic tool used to assess intellectual functioning in individuals ages 3 to 94. The Reynolds Intellectual Assessment 2nd Edition provides 3 intelligent indexes. The Verbal Intelligence Index is a summary estimate of verbal intelligence. It measures answers that he has to verbally give. The Nonverbal Intelligence Index, which is a summary estimate of nonverbal intelligence, measures answers that do not require verbal response, such as manipulating items. And the Composite Intelligence Index, which is a summary estimate of general intelligence. The Reynolds Intellectual Assessment 2nd Edition also includes supplemental summary estimates of memory and processing speed. Justin received a Verbal Intelligence Index of 70. The average range of intelligence is between 90 and 110, with 100 being right as average. Justin's Verbal Intelligence Index of 70, as you can see, is quite below the 90 to 110 average range. This score fell in the 2nd percentile, which shows that Justin performed as well as or better than 2 out of 100 children his age and is well below average. Justin received a Nonverbal Intelligence Index of 98. Again, 90 to 110 is considered average range. Justin's Nonverbal Index of 98 is within the average range and fell in the 45th percentile, which means he scored as well as or better than 45 out of 100 children his age. Justin received a Composite Index of 82, which is in the low average range, and fell in the 12th percentile, which means he scored as well or as better than 12 out of 100 children his age. The results of the Reynolds Intellectual Assessment 2nd Edition reveal that Justin's overall general intelligence is within the low average range and that nonverbal skills is an area of strength for Justin. He is better with answers or tasks that do not require verbal response, and he has difficulty with verbal tasks such as orally answering questions or presenting information orally in the classroom. Justin was also given the Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement 3rd Edition. The Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement 3rd Edition provides a measure of academic achievement for grades pre-K through 12th. The Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement 3rd Edition identifies student academic strengths and weaknesses in math, reading, and written language. The Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement 3rd Edition assesses 7 areas and gives each a standard score and a percentile score. Standard scores are used to compare scores between different tests. Justin's standard score on the phonological processing subtest was 72, his percentile rank of 3. This subtest requires students to respond orally to items that require manipulation of the sounds within words. The standard score of 72 is well below the measure IQ score of 82, and the percentile rank of 3 means a score that he scored as well or as better than 3 out of 100 students his age. On the letter and word recognition subtest, Justin identifies letters and reads grade appropriate words. He received a standard score of 68 in the second percentile. When comparing the standard score of 68 to the measured IQ level of 82, you see it is well below, and the second percentile shows he scored as well or as better than 2 out of 100 students his age. On the reading comprehension subtest, Justin has to read grade level passages and answer comprehension questions. He achieved a standard score of 56 and less than 1 percentile. Again, when comparing the standard score to measured IQ score of 82, you again see it is well below. And the 1 percentile shows that he scored as well or as better than less than 1 out of 100 students his age. On the word recognition fluency subtest, Justin read as many words as possible within a time limit. His standard score was 56 with a less than 1 percentile rank, significantly lower than measured IQ of 82 and as well as or better than less than 1 out of 100 students his age. On the math concepts and applications subtest, Justin solved math problems that relate to real-life situations, such as time and money. Justin obtained a standard score of 66 and 1 percentile on this subtest. Again, when compared to the measured IQ of 82, you see it is significantly lower. 1 percentile means he scored as well as or better than 1 out of 100 students his age. On the math composition subtest, Justin scored a standard score of 70 and it was in the second percentile. Again, well below the IQ score of 82, and this means that he scored as well as or better than 2 out of 100 students his age. The final subtest on the Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement 3rd edition is written language. This required Justin to write letters, words, and sentences within a time limit. Justin received a standard score of 56 and below the 1 percentile. When compared to measured IQ, you can see his score of 56 is again well below the 82 IQ score. And the less than 1 percentile means he scored as well as or better than less than 1 out of 100 students. Results of the Kaufman Test of Educational Achievement 3rd edition show that Justin's academic achievement is in the well below average to extremely low range in all measured academic areas. His grade level functioning is approximately beginning to middle kindergarten. The Adaptive Behavior Evaluation Scale Revised 2nd edition was completed by Justin's self-contained classroom teacher. This measures one's ability to get along in his environment, the skills needed to function independently, and the Adaptive Behavior Evaluation Scale Revised 2nd edition provides an overall adaptive skills quotient and identifies serious adaptive behavior skill deficits. Quotients below 85 are areas of concern and may need intervention. Justin's adaptive behavior skills and quotient was 71, which falls below 85 and tells the adaptive behavior skills is an area of concern for Justin. Communication, self-care, social, leisure, self-direction, functional academic, home living, community use, health and safety, and work were found to be serious adaptive behavior skill deficits. In the classroom, Justin is often impulsive, he is restless, and he has trouble attending. He often fails to comprehend verbal instructions, and individual teacher assistance is required. Justin often talks out in the class about unrelated topics. Laughing and smiling out of appropriate context was also noted. Justin often displays excessive physical play. The behavior assessment system for children was given to Justin. The behavior assessment system for children is used to help understand the behaviors and emotions of children and adolescents and to monitor changes. The behavior and assessment system for children identifies areas of behavior and/or emotions that are risks of becoming problematic and those that are significantly problematic. Behaviors and/or emotions at risk to becoming problematic and externalizing problems. Things like physical aggression, disobeying rules, cheating, stealing, destruction of property. Aggression behavior aimed at hurting others. Conduct, his personal behavior. Depression, feelings of sadness, loss, or anger. Adaptability, adjusting to new conditions, and leadership. Significant areas suggest a high level of maladjustment and school problems. adaptive skill behaviors, attention learning problems, atypically odd behaviors not like others, withdrawals, social skills, study skills, and functional communication. Information attained from curriculum-based assessment using materials taken from the curriculum to measure the student in reading, spelling, math, and writing shows that Justin is able to identify letters and produce their sounds in isolation. He can decode using letter-by-letter method. He has delays in phonological processing, which is using one's own language skills to understand spoken and written language. Justin demonstrates a limited sight word vocabulary, which is words a student should know and recognize on sight. Justin shows deficits blending sounds to decode words. He has poor word recognition, which affects reading, fluency, and comprehension. He is able to decode some words. Justin shows deficits blending sounds to decode words. He has poor word recognition, which affects reading, fluency, and comprehension. He is able to count and identify 1 to 2 digit numbers. He is able to do basic single addition and subtraction problems, but applied problem solving skills were below grade level. Number reversals were noted as well. Numerous spelling errors were identified. Justin can identify initial letters, but has a lot of trouble with middle and ending sounds. Justin reverses formation of letters at times. Spacing and size of letters when writing was inconsistent. Justin can write his first name, but was noted that he could not write his last name. He is unable to write basic, simple sentences. In summary, Justin has a diagnosis of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder combined oppositional defiant disorder and unspecified bipolar and related disorder. Evaluation results show low average intellectual functioning and a significant verbal weakness. Well below average to extremely low academic achievement was determined. Behavior ratings and observations show marked difficulty with attention, restlessness, and impulsivity. Difficulty with social functioning, following verbal instructions, and completing tasks were noted. Noted difficulties adversely affect Justin's educational performance in the classroom. Justin meets the eligibility requirement under the diagnosis of other health impaired. Small group instruction was recommended for Justin to acquire the skills necessary for academic success. Visual prompts, organizational strategies, modified assignments, and concrete step-by-step instruction was suggested to meet Justin's educational needs. Consultations should be made with mental health service providers as needed.